Hello and welcome to your weekly news highlights with me, Hasina Momtaz. Here are your top stories from Bangladesh and the UK. Home Minister Muhyiddin Khan Alamgir has categorically announced that no meeting or demonstration would be permitted for 1 month in order to safeguard life and property. He said that permission will be given for peaceful meetings. However, he said that the opposition parties were engaging in violence and disruption of law and order. He made the announcement while inaugurating Jurarganj police station in Mirsarai Upazila in Chittagong on Sunday. But speaking to BBC Bangla service in the evening, the Home Minister said the ban would be imposed in the capital for an indefinite period. The government, however, did not issue any sort of order specifying the reasons for such an unprecedented move, nor making clear the law which would allow such a ban. However, later, around 8:25 p.m, the Home Minister's Public Relations Officer issued a press release to clarify MK Alamgir's statement. The press notice quoted the minister saying that in the aftermath of a cyclone, the government will not give permission for any political activities that might damage public life and property and create insecurity or risk of subversion. The minister further stated that there was no restriction on the usual rallies. He said, "This is not a ban, but rather a precautionary measure. There is no room for confusion in this regard," he added. The main opposition BNP and its ally Jamaat-e-Islami have termed this step as draconian and say it is aimed at putting up roadblocks to the opposition's call for the restoration of the caretaker government system. They demanded the withdrawal of the ban. The Workers' Party, a component of the Awami League-led ruling alliance, other political parties, including Bikol Podara and the left, also bitterly criticised the measure. No government since the restoration of democracy in 1991, which was achieved through a mass uprising against autocratic ruler H.M. Ershad, has imposed such a ban. The only exception to this is during the nearly 2-year-long military-backed caretaker regime between January 2007 and December 2008, which banned rallies and mass protests. The BNP-led 18-party opposition alliance has called a countrywide day-long hartal for Sunday. This has been called in relation to the following demands: the restoration of the caretaker government system, unconditional release of its leaders, and in protest of the ban on rallies. On behalf of the alliance, BNP spokesperson Shamsuzzaman Dudu made the announcement at a press briefing in the party's Naya Paltan headquarters on Friday afternoon. The grouping and its key ally Jamaat-e-Islami have already enforced 4 nationwide hartals this month in protest at police atrocities against Hifazat-e-Islam activists on the 5th of May in Dhaka, and also the capital punishment sentence handed to Jamaat leader Muhammad Kamruzzaman for war crimes. On May 19, Home Minister Muhyiddin Khan Alamgir made statements regarding the ban on rallies and meetings. The statement prompted widespread criticism from a cross-section of people, including academics and journalists. A backlash following the killing of drummer Rigby in Woolwich last week has led to several people facing charges over comments posted on social media sites. Incidents have been reported to police across England, with arrests in Lincoln, Bristol, Woking, Hastings and Southsea. Some have been accused of offences under the Communications Act, and others have been arrested on suspicion of inciting racial or religious hatred. The forces involved have reminded people that such comments are unacceptable. Meanwhile, 2 men will appear at Thames Magistrates Court on Thursday, charged with religiously aggravated threatening behaviour over an incident in an East London fast food restaurant last Thursday. Drummer Rigby was killed in South East London on Wednesday. 2 murder suspects, shot by police, were arrested and are under armed guard in hospital. On Monday, senior BNP Vice Chairman Tariq Rahman called upon all non-resident Bangladeshis to play their part in compelling the government to restore the caretaker government system. He made the call at a views exchange meeting with local BNP leaders at the Palm Tree restaurant in East London. BNP's UK chapter leaders, presidents and secretaries of 42 regional committees, among others, attended this meeting. Tariq, who is BNP chairperson Khalid's elder son, convened the meeting as part of the process for selecting the chapter's president and general secretary. This was Tariq's first reported appearance before the party leaders since being forced to leave the country in 2008 during the military-backed caretaker government. Tariq told the meeting that the present government was violating human rights and had killed those who had come to Shapla Chatta to protest in order to realise their demands. He said that the Bangladeshi people wanted the next general election to be held under a neutral caretaker government. The 114th birthday of national poet Kazi Nazrul Islam is being celebrated across the country today in a ceremonious manner befitting a figure of such stature. The government and various socio-cultural and political organisations have planned elaborate events to mark the day. The programmes include placing wreaths at the poet's grave on the premises of Dhaka University Mosque, holding discussions, rallies and cultural functions. Kazi Nazrul was born on the 25th of May in 1899 at Churulia in Budwan district of India's West Bengal. Nazrul inspired people to fight against the injustice and repression of colonial rule through his powerful and nationalistic poems. The fearless voice of the poet also earned him the wrath of the then British rulers, who had him jailed several times for igniting people's desire for independence. Nazrul's songs and poems were also a source of inspiration for freedom fighters during the Liberation War of 1971. That concludes our roundup of the top stories from the week. Thank you for watching. Please join me again at the same time next week. Allah Hafiz.